Gray, morning, Reverend. 3:53 in the morning. It's September 18th, 2024. I'm not even live or awake yet, Rev. Forgive me. I got up this morning about 3 o'clock, or actually less time than that. Couldn't sleep. Came across a video concerning about in the China Observer. I can't even talk right this morning. Lubrication. Water. 100 million people in China can't afford mooncakes. They pile up. I was watching a little bit of this thing. Almost 20 minutes about it. How the Chinese economy can't even allow people to buy these special delicacies, the pastry delicacies that they have. It's like dealing with shepherd's pie or something of that sort. Where they can't even afford something that basic for an autumn festival coming up that they celebrate, not to mention the Chinese New Year. But the moon pies would be celebratory foods. They can't even afford to buy that stuff. Last two videos, I was rambling a bit this morning because I wasn't barely alive or barely awake at this point. Trying to do price comparisons of stuff. It's going to be very expensive when it comes down for fast food. Out here in America, it's gone off the rails on this one, pal. So I'm trying to figure this stuff out. I need to get back to bed and sleep this stuff out, but my brain just clicked on, so it's like, okay, time to get up. Careful not to step on my dog. Got to get her covered because right now it's about 68 degrees outside. It's nice weather for evening. I can deal with that. I'm comfortable with that. The air conditioning's not even been on for about an hour or two. We got the stabilization of the temperatures in this apartment. That's good. I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is when my brain starts figuring things out this morning, and I'm like, why am I doing this again? I looked at the Chinese thing and then the China Observer video. I'm like, okay, just why am I watching this damn thing? 10 minutes into it, I'm hearing about prices of mooncakes being totally expensive. That not even the business people in China can afford the crap. Or maybe they're the only ones who can actually afford it because regular people can't afford such a luxury. And I had to start comparing what we consider luxuries. When we were kids, I was growing up as a kid in San Fernando Valley. $5 or $6 could get you a good meal of stuff, depending on where you gone. If you wanted tacos and chili dogs, we had Poppin' Taco. $5 in your pocket, you're a king of the world. You would go over to McDonald's and get yourself food and some change after that. You get a Big Mac and fries and Coke and come home with change. Because you had to give it to mom. $5 can't even afford you to buy anything, not even a breakfast sandwich over at the McDonald's we've got over here. $7 for a damn, forget my language, for an egg McMuffin with cheese, or let alone sausage. Canadian bacons cost that much out here, but I didn't realize the eggs would cost that much, and so would a slice of cheese and a muffin. Maybe it's the meat. I was trying to do price comparisons on this one, Raymond. Don't ask me how and why. I'm still trying to figure out the reason why I'm so up in this morning, going crazy over moon pies. But now I have to go crazy over the expensive nature of fast food. You might as well call it You might as well call it fine restaurant, price wise. It costs that much for it. I mean, I did price comparisons what I spent on my breakfast here. It's like about 50 cents an egg. Sausage patties would cost me maybe about $2 right there. I've got a hash brown patty. One patty would cost me 50 cents. I mean, for $5, I can make myself a breakfast of a scrambled egg with 3 sausages and hash brown. No problem. You know what my normal breakfast would be at this point? I'd use about 3 eggs at this point, so that's $1.50 right there. I would use about 2 to 3 patties. That's $1.50 right there. That's $3 right there. That's for the patties, and that's for the eggs. Now for the sausage, you get this Jimmy Dean package that's got about 26 of them in there. I grab about 3 of them. So for the equivalent, check this one out. For the equivalent of um, a big breakfast out here, they got about $11 for that damn thing. I can make my own big breakfast. I'm trying to find ways to save so I don't have to go to the fast foods all that often. It used to be a habit when I could afford the damn stuff, but these days I can't even afford it anymore. It has to be cooked. It has to be the bulk stuff coming from other places so I can make cheap ass meals on them. The thing we do to save a buck or two so we can save it and salvage and transfer it to the bills for next month. And then so on and so on and so forth. But it's not about the moon pie stuff. They got an industry out in China that's gearing up for a holiday feast and people can't afford it. They could barely afford ramen, let alone something else to eat. Ramen, we got about 50, 75 cents a package. I mean, for $24. Uh, yeah, $24. I can get me a count of, what was it, 20, 24 pieces of packages of ramen, chicken and beef. Put it on my EBT card. But still, we're lucky in our country right now. Some things are affordable to a point. Get it off a store shelf individually, it costs. But you get them in bulk, maybe you're cheaper on that one. I was trying to say something about my other purchasing things on that one there, Rob. You know, package of frozen vegetables work. A little bit at a time. Throw it in with a ramen and maybe if you had a rotisserie chicken, it's about $12 or less than that for a whole chicken. Pieces of that thrown in there. I mean, I can make myself a suitable lunch out of the damn thing. Or if I'm really that hungry, 2 packages of ramen noodles on that one. God. Well, I can throw in I can throw in pieces of onion and anything, flavoring things up a bit. But I try to make it equivalent that I would probably get out of a fast food place, and hopefully the stuff will last about 4 or 5 hours in my stomach. People worrying about the political crap going on and going over insane stuff. Other people are saying left and right and running around without the damn heads. I'm trying to think about survival right now as it is. I'm hearing about some of the people the independents out there are comparing all those ministers and thumping their chest and everything else going on. So. It's a crazy world we live in, you know that? Politics is nasty. We started up with the American politics back when we started up with our Congresses, and already we had people trying to kill each other with the musket balls. We didn't have the rules of decorum as we're supposed to be having these days. But if we actually did have the musket balls, the pristine floors of the Senate will not be defiled by your mannerisms. If you want to have that inadequate human behavior, you will go outside, but not in our sacred halls. I don't know where I got that from. Yeah, I was reading about that a long time ago about that one. I just couldn't believe it that our own guys would try to kill each other in the beginning of the stages when they were getting the country started. You had a disagreement, take your muskets, take it outside, and have fun. A gentleman's skull. If the guy dies, okay, you got your point made. If the guy is wounded, you still got your point made. If nobody gets wounded, well, then I guess you load up again, don't you? I remember seeing videos and clips concerning about other countries with their own parliamentary systems. How people would just yell and scream at each other, want to just thump on people's heads left and right. They want to go for the theatrics. Turn on the cameras. It's not theatrics. You don't like the guy. You don't like the politician. You don't like his viewpoints. Here goes the fists. Order in the room. Order in the room. And then that guy gets tossed out. Free for all time. In the House of Representatives, we almost have that. But they try to keep it civil. They try, is the operative word. I mean, they do have Sergeant of Arms in the Senate, and they do have a Sergeant of Arms in the House of Representatives, and they try to keep it civil as much as possible. I feel sorry for that poor gavel. How many of those gavels do they actually go through? How many times the damn thing gets busted and be repaired all the time? I know. I need to go back to bed on this one here, Rev. Some mornings I get up about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe earlier than that, 1 or 12. Not just because of the little girl either. Around this time when she's sleeping, it's quiet. I can either sleep or do stuff I can try to concentrate on. But earlier this morning, I'm usually going through the damn YouTube, see what I can talk about and veg out on. And the thing I talked about was about moon pies, moon cakes actually. Weird paste. It's delicate pastries that even a few of our bakeries out here in the United States can actually try doing, and charging an arm and a leg on that one. Oh, by the way, you know fruitcake costs these days about $25 for a small lump. About $12 or $15 for a blue tin of Danish cookies. I consider them holiday stuff. I mean, we are getting into the holiday season, and that's going to be something there to be depressed about. You know what's even more? If my brother was alive, he'd be celebrating his sober birthday today. It cost me $3.50 just to get a 1.5 liter bottle of soda for him. I'm not ready to drink it just yet. I already drank part of it because of his death anniversary back on the 8th of this month. And today, 10 days later, his sobriety date unofficially was in August. We had to change it to September. He did a marijuana maintenance for 30 days. Before he'd get back his 30 day and took a newcomer chip. So basically it's September. September 18th, 1985. You would have had a long time for that one. 85, 05, 15, almost 25. My God. He would have that long, almost 40 years coming up. He would have 39, I think. Came almost on 33, 10 days shy on it, so he had 32 days. Actually, 32 years, actually, I would say, when he passed away. Clean and sober 32 years. There have been times he was tempted just concerning about being clean, not sober, though. Sobriety was one thing. clean. He freaked out every time there was a medication situation happening where he thought he was taking too much painkillers for his back and knees. And he still had to clear with the doctor on this one. And the thing is concerning about 12-step recovery, as long as you get it cleared by the medical establishment, they ain't got no problem with that. But if you're doing it by self-medication without medical, then they probably consider your sobriety in jeopardy. He was always worried about that one. Kept talking to his closest friends in the program about it. I'm always afraid of touching that dram of alcohol or going for pharmaceuticals because I don't trust the medical establishment. I don't trust anybody else. When it comes down for painkillers, I'm always doing the Tylenol and Motrin when I need it the most. And it's not all the damn time either. But I'm still scared and I'm still afraid of me losing it. I've seen my Mr. Hyde. I've seen my Frankenstein. That's what keeps me, Clayton, sober. You talk about being scared of your dark side of the force, good Lord. So I think if I happen to go into a manic state and just go on a video game and go on a tirade against zeros and ones, but it's another thing in another human being. I can't do that, Rev. There's no way in hell I'm going to put myself through that damn shit. That's why I don't go out there. But even hampering myself in here is not a lot of healthy either. I finally got a hold of my therapist. She actually made the appointment for me at noon today. I may be missing out on your stuff. I'm going to be sending out my videos, getting them posted. This one, hopefully before. I may miss it. I may be late. I don't know. But we'll see. Meanwhile, see if I can crawl back into bed again. My stomach will be grumbling at me for more stuff than water. I got my milk ready. I got my juice ready. A few inches away, or maybe a feet or two, I got a banana. All right for breakfast. I'm just not having coffee yet. All right. Me being saying that, going back to bed, getting another hour and a half of sleep, and then hopefully be able to function before the appointment happens. And then after that, afternoon nap. No, not afternoon nap. Schoolwork. I'll talk at you later, Rev. The Maltus.